Welcome everybody to Castlevania 3's big 30-minute race. Happy Palcom-Halloween. Palcom, what the hell is that?
What?
It's the name of the company on the what is that?
Palcom?
Subsidiary of Konami. Okay. This is the Japanese version of Castlevania 3 though.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and give them the start.
I'm gonna pull audio from Polk, and we have
Oh, it looks like our fourth didn't join the race, so that was the issue. Got it.
I've got them, I just don't have their name up yet. Alright, 30 minutes on the clock. Tuesday Night Mystery is our fourth. Could be you folks who could join our goofy race of this game for 30 minutes, get as far as you can. Alternate paths exist in this, so we're gonna measure by bosses killed, basically. I do have a tracker to reference. In the Japanese version here, there's a couple of big differences from what they did to America for Blockbuster or whatever they did when they decided America deserves the worst games. I'm gonna read those differences here. The enemy damage is much higher. As you advance, the game multiplies, like it scales incrementally to where you die in 3 or 4 hits later. Versus this 1 or 2 damage that you take for most all of the game on the Japanese version. So that's a big thing. And then the other thing that is major is Grant Dynasty going from being a worthless guy with a dagger to a guy who has 50 daggers and throws them instead. And then the bosses are also
It doesn't
harder.
cost sub-weapon ammo or anything?
No, he gets a sub-weapon as well. And that's whatever sub-weapon you want. Probably the axe, and then you can double down.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you can just go nuts.
The rich get richer.
And also, of course, he can still do his crawling on the ceiling antics, and he can throw that knife while on the ceiling downwards, directly at the boss, who is defenseless a lot of the time. Item placements and just general stuff like that is worse in the English version as well. And then they censored the statues because they never heard of the Renaissance in America, so...
Yeah, Sky has speedrun this game for like 5 years at this point. I mean, not actively, but she's been speedrunning that long. And I've always thought that if I were to ever speedrun this game, it would be specifically the Grant route, because all the cool stuff he can do, climbing on the ceilings and walls, and specifically some of the skips he gets, always seems so cool.
Yeah, Palcom is just Konami's, and Ultra Games I think is also theirs. How many companies did they have to evade this policy Nintendo had to you're just not allowed to make slop and put 50 games out a year or whatever? Didn't make any sense because you could just get around it that way, but I understand why they tried to do that, I guess.
Yeah, I understand the idea, but considering the fact that that rule would have only really made sense for the largest companies that could have afforded to put out 50 games a year, the fact that they specifically had a way to sidestep it is nonsense.
So in short, they're playing the easiest version of this game, aside from a ROM hack that exists. There are really nice ROM hacks for this that we could have given them. My favorite ROM hack for any of the Castlevanias is the one that fixes them. and everybody knows exactly what I mean, without even saying more about what that... They have air control. They can turn around in the air. They have a regular jump. They have the ability to move. It's so nice. And there's a hack like that for all of these. But this is just the regular Japanese version translated, basically. So I have the route, I gave it to the players. And Grant is definitely busted in this version. I'm hearing that he can only get the axe and maybe the watch. That sounds right as I go through it with Grant and never switch to Belmont. I did notice that I only ever have the axe. It's fine with me. It makes it really easy to not lose it, and I don't know if it's true in this one, but in the first game, when you get that 2 and 3 that let you throw multiple sub-weapons, if you grab a different sub-weapon, it deletes it, which is super annoying because it falls on your head sometimes. But if you only get axe, you don't have to worry about that. Already beat the first boss down on the bottom left.
Yeah, we're doing great. We're pushing ahead.
So Grant is definitely strong as hell in this, but he is unfortunately up the clock tower that Polk could now choose to go to if they want. But you go up the clock tower, beat him, and then come all the way back down out of the clock tower because it's the incorrect route. It's just wrong. It goes to a dead end with Grant at the end of it. So they're not doing that, it looks like, and then they're going to end up with either Sifa or Alucard, and I don't know if they even have to take them, but why wouldn't you? You don't have to use them, you can turn them on or off anytime. I don't know much about Sifa, but Alucard has bat form, and you can use that to skip all kinds of terrain, so it seems like a great choice. I imagine Sifa does great damage. They both have different fights, but they both end up at the same place in the end.
She has really good, special abilities. Her magic spells are pretty strong and practical to use as well.
Well, Tuesday is going after Grant, so we're going to see a split in strength here. We're going to see if Grant can carry the time it takes to get up this place and back, which I imagine is going to be like a fifth of the racing clock at least. This might be a smarter idea if we had an hour and not 30 minutes. I think Grant would pull ahead in that case, but I don't know about this. I think 2 extra runs of stages. He's pretty fast on the way down because you can just fall, but getting up here with Belmont takes forever.
Speaking of Castlevania, I just got done playing one. You should check it out. It was pretty cool. It's called Aria of Sorrow.
Arsar?
You heard about this game?
Yeah, it's got a good randomizer. Have you tried that?
I haven't. I kept hearing some interesting things. Are you talking about the normal randomizer, or are you talking about the roguelite randomizer?
I've only played the regular one because it just happens to be one of the better games for a thing like that. It's sort of like any of the Zeldas working really well. The Aria of Sorrow one works pretty good.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's pretty free form. You can do things in whatever order you want to.
Honestly, the regular game is not very different from the randomizer as it is. I feel like they just kind of threw stuff in the castle, not worrying about it too much, still working on getting that formula down on where they should be putting stuff.
I felt that because when I finished my solo playthrough, I played a Julius playthrough, and it took like 30 minutes because you can really just go to places anytime you want to, especially if you don't have to specifically find the few movement souls. Yeah, when I was streaming Aria of Sorrow, people were talking about there's a more modern roguelite style randomizer. I don't know exactly what that means. I can't give you more information, but I guess someone has made a randomizer for it that functions more like a roguelite.
I hosted somebody who was playing a Symphony of the Night randomizer, and it was the person who created it, and they have packed it into the game so that you can just, from your console, play it and shuffle new seeds. Really nice work.
Nice.
That's a very hard game to speedrun. It's one of the things, I think if I never had heard that Symphony of the Night could be speedrun, maybe I'd be a speedrunner. I think it's one of the games that turned me off of it entirely. Like, just the concept of doing it myself. I appreciate it for what it is, but to button mash through that one, you gotta shield bash your way backwards through everything, and then once you get the bat, you have to wing crush, your wing smash, or whatever it's called. It's a fighting game input, you just do it over and over again while giving yourself mana. It's super complicated, constant work, and it's so exhausting.
Yeah, I played Symphony of the Night, I don't know, at this point, like 5 years ago, and I got the very first credits and made everyone very upset because I decided that that was the end of it for me. I just didn't find it very compelling, so I didn't really want to play more of it.
The second castle
But I feel totally different about Aria of Sorrow. Aria of Sorrow I loved.
Yeah, the second castle in Castlevania Symphony of the Night it's pasted in. Like, it's really easy to fly through it. You have mist now. Extended mist, no less, so you can just be mist as long as you have mana, and you have bat form, and you have to use it a lot because it really is just, hey, we don't actually have time to make an entire castle, we're just gonna flip it. So they just give you the same castle, and that means a lot of it's not really navigatable unless you just fly. So
right.
It's not like super interesting compared to I think the DSVanias are the good stuff.
Well, I've put off playing the GBA and DS Castlevanias for years because I kind of bounced off of Soten and was afraid that it was going to be more of the same. And Aria of Sorrow was a lot of fun for me, and it kind of makes me excited to check out more of them.
Dawn of Sorrow is just like a, I would recommend maybe a mod that makes you not have to draw the sigils in Dawn of Sorrow, because people hate that stylus stuff sometimes, but it's basically Aria of Sorrow again, but maybe a little bit more refined. Aside from that, I like it. And then Portrait of Ruin, I think, is my favorite Castlevania ever. Order of Ecclesia is kind of weird, but it's pretty good still. It's hard as fuck. Symphony of the Night has a
Everything
problem
you're
with being
saying
easy.
is what I've heard. Yeah, a lot of people saying Portrait of Ruin was their favorite, and that Order of Ecclesia is kind of a bizarre game.
If you liked Rondo of Blood, the Richter mode in Portrait of Ruin, the secret mode where you play as Richter and Maria, a tag team, is better than what I just said about Portrait of Ruin. Like, if Portrait of Ruin's regular experience is the best there is, somehow Richter and Maria's mode is even better than that. It's just insanely good. It's tuned to not worry about the Metroidvania mechanics. You just have this little girl who throws holy birds and this idiot with a whip, and together they take on death. It's awesome. I have this picture for you, which I think this is also in Aria of Sorrow, but here is the Alron Une combo, where she's giving him a hug while spitting corpse weed and Unes everywhere. And this is what you control with the stylus. This was on Arcade Pit, they were asking about this. This combo of souls.
Nice. So it looks like both of our players on the right have opted to go for Grant. A little bit of a struggle to get through stage 2. I just saw Tuesday start over. They were on 2-3 and then they went back to 2-1, so I think they're having a little bit of trouble. This is giving
Hotfire's there.
both of our players on the left a chance to kind of break away.
Yeah, this is Grant. I don't know why he's an ogre. Dracula turned him into this, I guess. If you beat him, you get him. If not, I guess you just try again, because you can't leave. I'm not actually sure what happens if you just leave. Maybe you can just skip him. But he's not that hard. He just kind of crawls around and misses.
Feels like a poorly thought out boss fight of like, well, we wanted to make it a boss fight, but we don't want to make it one that you're going to lose.
Have you seen the Castlevania TV show?
No, I never ended up watching it. I had planned to, but I never did.
Sifa and Belmont are main characters, Alucard, obviously. Grant is missing. They mention him like in passing, he's just not there. So I guess they didn't go to the clock tower in the TV show. It's pretty good. It's a little weird, but it's alright. Interesting.
Yeah, I was doing the retro achievements for Aria of Sorrow, and it had the boss rush modes in there, which were a lot of fun. Being able to take all my powerful weapons and souls, because I got a full collection into boss rush was really fun, and you can really move through there. And then they had you do the same for Julius mode. They wanted you to get 4 minutes on the boss rush in Julius mode, and that is a humbling experience. Julius is really powerful, but not in a way that makes you kill bosses fast, so...
I'll definitely be on board for the Portrait of Ruin run-through. Or any of those Metroidvanias, really. I bought a DS to play Dawn of Sorrow. Like, I saw the trailer for it after being a Symphony of the Night fan. I didn't have a GBA. I saw this trailer for that game, and I bought my DS, and then I played that game for 200 hours, and did not regret picking up the next 2 either. I didn't give a shit about the stylus or whatever.
I missed out on so many beloved Game Boy games because I just stopped having handhelds at a certain age. I don't know why, but...
The DS was nice because it would play GBA games directly. So I got to play some of those eventually, but playing Dawn of Sorrow and then going to Aria was kind of backwards. Not really interested in the same game, but less fancy. It's good. It's not the same castle. It's not the same game at all. It's just it's Soma again. He's got the same moves. The weapons are very similar. The plot isn't too different from what it was.
And this is which game?
Dawn of Sorrow and Aria of Sorrow are very similar. It's definitely a sequel to like specifically that rather than just another Castlevania game. It's like the next year and it's Soma again, and almost all the souls do similar things. And the weapons are very similar, the chains for the weapons, all the upgrades.
Wait, so you're saying if I play Dawn of Sorrow, it's basically just the remix?
It's a new castle, it's an entirely different like universe, but it's the same. It's definitely a sequel to that. Like it's just more Aria of Sorrow.
Alright, I think I can get on board with that then.
Yeah, if you liked Aria of Sorrow, there's almost no way you won't like
Tuesday has gotten Grant. I mean, has not necessarily accepted him as a pal, but
probably will if they walked all the way up.
yeah, no reason not to.
Give him a shake. Give him a fist bump, I guess. Order of Ecclesia is the odd one out. It is, and the other two GBA games are also really strange, for that matter. All three of those are strange games. I like Order. I think it's got a lot of problems though, and I don't know that you would, regardless of your opinion on the other two. It's strange enough that you might completely bounce off that one. It's, like I said, it's super difficult. I don't know why it's so damn hard. It offensively has achievements built in for doing a perfect fight on every single boss. Like you get a little medal that doesn't do anything. And that is just pure memory. Like, those bosses suck. They're pure memory. They hit really hard.
Yeah, I have a tendency to be really, I mean, at this point in my life, I just have to accept that I'm a contrarian. And so when people say that a game is sort of like weird or bad, I tend to give it a lot of grace. So, I mean, I know a lot of people like Order of Ecclesia, and everything I'm hearing doesn't sound too damning, so I have this feeling that I'm gonna end up liking it, but
I like it.
That's probably just me wanting to like it because it's the contrary opinion.
It's really weird. You're gonna notice right away. You're not in Dracula's castle, and you're gonna keep noticing that, and you're gonna keep noticing that for 10 hours, and you're still gonna be like, where the fuck is Dracula's castle? Eventually you'll get there. But you have this world map with just location after location, and none of them are Dracula's castle, which, that's interesting, but it's also, I'm not sure if that's what everybody wants. Dracula's castle ends up being maybe a fourth of the game.
The Retro Achievement set wanted both full soul collection and full bestiary, meaning you had to like get every enemy's rare drops and stuff. Which, there were definitely parts of it that were very tedious, but I found it to be a really chill time. Going and figuring out how to kill every enemy effectively and do so quickly and get their souls and then get their drops.
I say oof, but when I was a kid, like I said, I bought the DS and I did that in Dawn of Sorrow on purpose. I sat there and did it for myself. You didn't
even have the excuse that you were getting fake internet points.
That's right, I just wanted to see the ultimate gear. One of the enemies in there, you've seen him, it's one of the guards, the big knights.
Yeah.
They have like a 1 in, probably 1,000, 1 in 100 or something like that soul drop that are really annoying to kill. You need like 8 of them. You need like 8 drops, because you use souls in that game for forging to get good weapons.
Oh,
and
okay.
And the souls upgrade the damage of what you get, I'm pretty sure, so if you want the like best axe, you need to get 9 of them just as a default all across the board on every soul. I think that's the case. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's true. So you'll be busy if you're into min-maxing and just checking things out. We're seeing a big difference in the use of Grant here as Tuesday goes upside down and skips stairs and just walks through walls almost, and then Bloodfire's not really even using them, and they're actually using the steps at all. Yeah, like, that's not what Grant does. Grant doesn't believe in platforms.
Yeah, the reason to get Grant is so that you can stop platforming.
But as the other 2 players are in Block 4, I think we can see that Grant probably was not worth the time in this case. I think he would be, like I said, if they were doing the whole game. I think for a casual run, Grant would catch up to
no. Oh no, Tuesday! Tuesday jumped off the screen.
Portrait of Ruin actually has like not just Richter mode, it's got like 3 other game modes that are similarly well done. And I don't really play them, but one of them is purely stylus based and it's actually really good. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Skip the steps.
Aria has a few challenge modes that I'm still planning to do because they're part of the retro achievement set, and I kind of want to try them. The like no soul and no use challenge runs, which are like codes you put in that prevent you from being able to collect souls or use items.
It's really weird when you're trying to get the hang of Grant, but he can crawl around cubes and climb up of them. Oh, we'll see if he does it here. Yeah, there you go. I was afraid he'd die. It's really easy to fall off. You basically have... Oh, no, he didn't use the steps! You have half a second to, change your controls from pressing up to pressing right. It's something like that. You have to wrap around as if you're him. If you don't, he'll just lose his grip and fall. So it's a little finicky. It's functionally possible to crawl into any one-tile space, though, in any way that he can. If he can touch it, he can climb on it and stay on it too. And he can.
When Sky ran this game, she ran Sypha. She had tried Grant, but she found the mechanic of like going around blocks and walking on them to be too fickle for her.
It's hard to control, but I've mastered it, I think, because I only play with him when I do the shuffler.
I feel like with some practice, it's probably very doable.
He makes a big joke out of the Dracula fight. Sypha is a really good character in the show. You rarely get to see female protagonists as competent as she is. She is extremely good at what she does. There's always a treat. Like she's a wizard who's just, if you're a vampire, you're fucked. Just get out of here. She's just going to win. It's like fighting the Avatar. It's insane to go up against her. She's mostly ice, though. Escaping the clock tower is ruining Tuesday night's race, unfortunately. They've come really close a couple times, but they just can't get away from here. Meanwhile, Cyclops, that I think is guarding Sypha, is getting Grant and Nasty just launching at him.
This is where you get her.
Yep, so you can just sit on that block on the right and throw knives in his face, and he can't actually do anything about that. Yeah, there you go. This fight's over. This game was not designed
around Grant. It may not be fast,
Grant.
but it's gonna work.
Yeah, if you have any trouble with the actual difficulty of this, Grant slowly but surely wins. Every boss fight, pretty much. The only ones he has trouble with are the ones that create a bunch of shit on the screen. He has trouble controlling, unless you're really good at throwing the axes. Oh, nice save. On Tuesday, grab the stairs. I think they're finally out of there. Love to see it. Oh no, they're back here, right. They've been here before. I forgot how long this place is. It looks like Bloodfire has switched Grant away. It's really funny that you can't just take both of them.
Grant and Sypha have some bad blood, sorry. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. Bloodfire posted in the racing room. Oop, whoops, kinda. I was like, what was the point of getting Grant if you're just gonna get rid of him right away? So it makes me feel a little bit better to realize that was not intentional.
I always forget the secrets in these. Not these old NES ones, they're pretty easy, except for this. This one's the most complicated one, I think, with the alternate routes and boss stuff, and these 3 characters you can pick from. But Rondo of Blood and Draculax both have big secret paths. Rondo is really big on the secret paths, and Draculax is just like we have Dracula at home kind of Rondo of Blood, so it tries to do the same thing.
I've never played Rondo of Blood, but as a Dracula X enjoyer, it always drives me nuts every time people are like, yeah, the worst game. It's like, I want to agree with you, but I've never played Rondo, I don't know.
Well, one big thing that already just out the gate makes it less interesting is you can rescue Maria and some other characters in Draculax, and they change the ending in one of the boss fights. In Rondo, of course, you can rescue Maria and play as her, and she double jumps and slides and has birds and shit. She's just really good. And she has her own ending where Dracula realizes he lost to like a 10-year-old girl and he's super pissed about it, and it's very funny. And then she rides a dragon off into the sunset, and I don't know where Richter goes, he's just dead, I guess. But yeah, Draculax does this thing where if you miss the secret exit, you're permanently locked out of that, even saving them. Like, you just get these bad, worse versions of the stages because you fell down a pit one time. Better use a password, I guess. Rondo has a bunch of secret exits. Pretty much every single stage I've learned as I tried to make a tracker for it. Castlevania 3 was complicated. Rondo was the most complicated with that because I had... there were like 5 alternate paths. Each one had their own boss. You could either fight... what's her name? Carmella, or you could fight this Dullahan again, or you could just skip death and fight knights. You could just fight Shaft. Like, there's so many paths. Yeah, Draculax isn't that bad. It's just worse than Rondo and Castlevania 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the DS games and GBA games. And, yeah. You know. It's the worst one on the SNES. I just don't like... I think it's kind of boring, and I hate that Dracula fight.
See, I love that Dracula fight, and I've never beaten Super Castlevania 4, but...
That one's really
and I
long.
think this is purely a me problem, so I just want to preface this by saying this isn't an actual criticism, this is 100% just a me problem, but I've watched enough Super Castlevania 4 speedruns that the way that they are able to make that whip work, and me not being able to make it work like that, is so intensely frustrating.
It's all good. I understand. That game, I think, is just too long for me, generally. Like, Super Castlevania 4, I think it's definitely a really solid one. It's like the first one of these that I actually like a lot. I like 3, I think, and I like...
Are you a Castlevania 2 enjoyer?
It's alright for what it is, but I wouldn't play it a second time in this life.
Gotcha.
Maybe with a guide open, I would. It's just, like, so what, like, even more than, like, I know it's got, like, that Explorer vibe to it, but it's not got the hints that it needs to have that.
I would agree with that.
Just hitting random blocks and finding the tornado that I need to beat the stage is not an okay... Like, that's a big mistake, I feel like. It's kind of like a killer bug, almost. It's not a bug, though. They just didn't feel like telling you how to do it, and they have to. If it weren't for that, I think I'd really like it a lot. Like, the same exact game with proper notes, I think would be great. Okay, so I'm seeing Sifa is just outrageously good, so I can see why you'd pick her over the other 2. She doesn't have the mobility that the other 2 do. That's the big thing, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with the Cypher route is that she does not contribute anything positively to the platforming skill, and there are lots of rooms where you really want some assistance. Like, Grant can climb on walls and Alucard can fly as a bat, but I mean, if your choices are Sypha and Trevor, it's like, who cares? You both suck.
The Belmont's just another Belmont. They're mostly the same, unless it's Richter and he's got his Street Fighter moves. He doesn't always have them, like in Draculax. And then he's just another Belmont again. Like, I did La Mulana 1 and 2 without any help at all. And I know people compare that to Castlevania 2. I feel like La Mulana 2 has... Or La Mulana and La Mulana 2 have actual notes. There's only a couple places where I have complaints. And they did thousands of puzzles. So they only missed less than 1%, in my opinion. That 1% cost me like 50 hours. But nevertheless...
Yeah, I played through Castlevania 2 pretty recently, and I tried to take relatively few hints in the game, and there were only a few times where I never felt like the game was lying. Like, there's a lot of misinformation about how much the game lies. There's some villagers who aren't honest about certain things, but most of it is just there aren't adequate hints. Like, there's a lot of puzzles where the game just doesn't give you enough to solve it. Honestly.
Tuesday night,
anyway.
As the Clock has beaten the Cyclops, so everyone made it to World 4 at least. Spritz
right,
takes
so
it.
It looks like Spritz. And then from there, it looks like probably Polk, and then Bloodfire, and then Tuesday. That's our order?
Yeah. The Grant players did not catch up, but they were getting there, and then Grant got swapped out. I wonder if keeping Grant would have been enough to speed up Bloodfire. Yeah, I think I really just don't like Castlevania 1. As I look at this game, I don't like the way they're stiff and control like this. I had so many NES games that played so smoothly, so fluid. Mario and even Ghouls and Ghosts, honestly, his controls better than... These ones are so stiff. They stand alone in that almost.
Oh yeah, the classic Vanias are all like committed jumps.
They fix that later. It's not just the jumps, it's the stairs, it's the walking speed, everything about it. The knockback. It's like Ninja Gaiden.
Which is why you should join me in being a Dracula X lover, because you get a cool backflip.
I have never gotten the good ending in that game. I should do that sometime. It's in my shuffler, and I'm working on it again, and I always fall down and lose there, and have to do miserable. It just sucks. You basically fall into the swamp and have to go through mud. If you fall down, you're just down there now. It's a really easy game compared to some of the other ones, though. For as much flack as it gets, it's if you get used to his stiffness, you can win pretty easily. Thanks for joining me, Author Blues.
Absolutely. Take it easy.
See you next week for our Halloween.